Alright, that should do it. Power lines upgraded and sealed. Well done, Mr. Code. Our power efficiency should increase twofold.
Power levels reading at 150% capacity.
Well, I'll just go and disassemble the remains of this scaffolding over here. Yeah, you go do that. Oh wow, check out the power output. Oh really? Oops. Oh dear Celestia, that's a bad miss. An ounce of prevention. Why? Jumping back to the Friends Forever series today, we take a look at issue number 3 featuring Spike and Celestia, who adventure to the Crystal Mountain to retrieve materials used for a new telescope for Twilight's birthday. First off, it's cool we're focusing on 2 characters who really haven't had much interaction with each other in both the series and comics. And I think the most notable thing about this comic is how it addresses the elephant or alicorn in the room. That being, since the beginning of the series, many have called into question Celestia and Luna's absence as the main 6 face off against the various baddies that have plagued Equestria over the years. And how the Royal Sisters could easily quell any threat. And in this relatively low-key adventure, we explore this long-debated dilemma. But before we get to that, let's go back to Spike and Celestia, who have a great dynamic where even though their roles of apprentice and assistant seem so distant, both have a thirst for adventure, and at the same time, the more interesting aspect is the fact that their lives have kept them separated and trapped into their delegated roles. And this is most notable right at the start of the journey where the two travel in silence for the most part. While they are technically friends, there's still that air of royalty that makes the relationship awkward despite being outdoors with no guards and in a more casual setting. And on top of that, it's one of the first adventures Spike's experienced without Twilight, adding to the unease of the journey. He's been on numerous adventures, but he's always been with Twilight and her friends, but just sees himself as the sidekick, a participant. Throughout the adventure, we see Spike develop into a more resourceful adventurer with the many obstacles they encounter and becomes more relaxed around Celestia, swapping stories and seeing each other more as equals. I really like the moral as well, which ties back into the whole princess's absence aspect. We see Celestia allows Spike to take on any challenges that he could potentially conquer himself, but steps in when it's beyond his abilities. True, Celestia could have handled all the problems they encounter, but as a teacher, she allows her students to take charge until again beyond their abilities. And by the end, both contribute to the journey equally and form a much more stronger bond, and I love that the story treats the Sun Princess as an approachable teacher rather than the visage of just the equestrian ruler. In the past, the main 6 have had elements of harmony or possessed something to help them learn some friendship lesson in overcoming their enemies. The princesses holding back the storm around the Crystal Empire is an example where they were the only ones who could possibly quell the tempest, while the others focus on the other problem. Celestia wants personal growth for Twilight, and interfering constantly would stunt her development and life lessons, despite her desire wanting to be there for her students. So we've got this great dilemma, this great moral of how much one should help another, or how much should we let them flourish on their own. As far as the artwork, this is back when Agnes Garbosco was still in the transitional phase from the oversaturation of purple to the more natural colors. So it's not too overwhelming compared to her earlier work, but still distracting. I especially love Celestia's design, able to draw her from being an elegant princess to badass is awesome. I love the textures of the crystals, and even the stalactites, they really pop out. Otherwise, what little action there is flows good, and we got a good variety of facial expressions as well. Overall, Friends Forever number 3, while not as grandiose compared to the other adventure style stories, is still a solid comic. The dialogue between Celestia and Spike is just so engaging, it's well paced, and it's just a really nice read. Alright guys, that's it for today. Until next time, MC out!